Coach, they love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Brown 80. Here we go again. Let flow, let flow, let flow. Mike 42, Mike 42. I'm going to come back to you.
Throwing on first down is Allen. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Give them 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. From the gun, it's Allen. They'll find Everett there, complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle it, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Allen going to try and throw on third down. Got him then, it's Ross, complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion.
Brown 80. Mike Fofo. Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball. Hey, tight. He's coming, double up. Check, hot. 44 is the Mike.
On first down, Taylor. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Looking to throw on second down. Allen, and this is caught by Evans. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points.
What's that? 19. I got 59. Hey, 4 down.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Watch it.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Check.
On first down, it's Watson. And now he'll tuck it and run. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Matt Breida, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. In that time for the sack, say hello to Chandler Jones. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
But no Texas start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now Allen. And he's going to go down again. Shaquille Barrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Wild. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Here's Taylor, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He finds Taylor, complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd down, it's Moss. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Working out of a shotgun. Here's Allen. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From the gun, Allen. He's got Evans. He's at the 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Mike Evans, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
I'm coming, baby. Alert. No. Check that. We got Mike 52 right here. Mike 52. Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work.
Now Watson. That'll be caught over the middle by Moss. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They run with Breida. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's the mark. It's a party now. Zoom. Hey,
Running out of the gun here, Breida. Oh, now Breida loses it, and the Bengals have recovered it.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Allen now, only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On second down, it's Taylor, and he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll run with Taylor, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They run with Taylor. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again is Watson. That's caught by Jackson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves up. You know, this guy throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
Watson on 1st down. It's caught by Jackson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. On 1st down, Watson buying time to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the 1st half. And now a timeout defensively after that 1st down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will do it for this 1st half. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the 2nd half. It was an even 1st half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. 1st half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the 2nd half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson, he'll hit Jackson, complete. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The give to Taylor. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Taylor. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Operating from the gun. Allen. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 44-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Throwing on second down. Allen. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Hey, 31! Give me that ball, defense! Give me that ball! Give me that ball, defense!
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Check 13! Check 13!
Now it's Breida. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he's got room. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A big play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Let's go, let's go. 42. Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you.
Looking to throw on second down. Allen, throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Allen from the gun on third down. He finds his target. It's Evans. Allen now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. Allen now from the gun. He'll throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, they'll throw with Allen. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 43. Allen now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's first down. Allen's throw is complete. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing again on second down. Allen, open man is lost, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 28. Allen now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And again, it's Allen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Allen, and that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will shave one more off this lead. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
56. I got one.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now it's Watson being chased out left. He'll run it. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but they still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Trey Flowers picks it, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. This is Breida. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A shotgun snap for Watson. Steps away to his left. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Watson. He's got it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. From 3 yards out as the Ravens push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the lead now up to 14. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Allen gonna throw. Got a man open. It's Ross. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Here we go.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 44-yard line. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now Allen again. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are back within a single score. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Matt Breida with his second touchdown of the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
Man, it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Allen. And he fires one incomplete. That time trying to find Gerald Everett, and it's 3rd and short. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. Well, going deep here for Taylor. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, here's Breida. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Out of the gun, Watson. That'll be complete to Breida. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
The big man, Jarrell Casey, in on the stop. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. And Watson's going to throw it here. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mecole Hardman, his 4th touchdown on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Allen now on 1st down. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. So Allen breaks the huddle, and his guys will go for 2 here. Allen to throw once more, and he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did. And this is taken in at the 5. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. And one of the whistles for timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Watson, he can't bring him down.
The weight room.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointless.